What is going on, everybody? Hello. Happy Thursday night. We are back with another Trinity tournament and talk. I'm joined by Lorcas and Tails, and hopefully we have some fun things to talk about today. But Lorcas, how you doing? I'll kick it off to Lorcas first, and then we'll go to Tails.
I'm doing okay. I've been doing some touring skiing, even though we're a little icy right now. And I had a little crash today. There's a little sore, but sore is better than broken. So I'm doing good.
Oh man, wait, how did you get hurt?
Oh, some skiing.
So did you say
Okay. All right, well,
touring skiing? What is
okay,
touring
man.
skiing?
Oh, that's when you don't use chairlifts or necessarily a resort, and you put skins on the bottom of your skis, and you hike up the mountain on your skis, and then you ski down, and you get to go more interesting places, avoid people.
Gotcha.
Go back.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yes, that's the point.
Cool. Tails, how you been, man?
I'm doing good, doing well. Can't complain. It's a little cold where I'm at, but other than that, I'm just here today to get financial advice because that's what we're all here for, right?
That's what we
Well
all
said.
do.
Well said.
All right, so so I know that I am probably going to have issues with delay for tonight. So I am going to see if I can just join audio from my phone and then see if that ends up working out. But we do have a tournament today, guys. It is starting in about 20 minutes and check-in should be in about 5. So I appreciate everybody who is joining us here, and we got some cool prizes for you all. Lorcas, thanks again for sponsoring the prizes. I have been making use of some of the cards, and it has been a lot of fun. I've still not gotten the Wild Season Pass this season, and I think that I'm going to stick it out the rest of the season. It's been a lot of gameplay, but I'm enjoying it, even though I'm getting my ass kicked still.
How did you enjoy Heloise?
I'm losing with her more than I should be. I don't think I know how to play with her yet. It's been a struggle, to be honest.
Yeah, I think she's not guaranteed to win. Figuring out the right scenarios in the right way is definitely a learning curve. I noticed you were winning more with Venka when I looked at your battles. I think you're muted after Sam. I think I'm just talking to myself.
Okay, there. I added my phone audio, and I'm curious if you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, hopefully this will be in real time. Let me see here. All right, cool. We'll figure out the delay issues for next week. But how about we jump into some of the chat? Tails, everybody's been talking about your video.
Yeah, I forgot. So it came up the other day. Bolts, shout out to Bolts. I think he's in the audience today as well in chat. There he is. Yep. I had posted a social tweet for Battle Rise, another game I'm playing. So I've been playing 2 games in January. I've been playing Parallel and I've been playing Battle Rise. And they had like a social contest where you just put out a tweet, showing your team that you're using there. And I posted that, and Bolts had, posted a question on that tweet about my opinion on the pack pricing for Conclave Arcana. I think it's been a topic outside of, X. I think it's been in Discord and just generally in Hive and stuff for Splinterlands. I had an opinion on it, and I figured I would share it here on stream today. But since Bolts asked on X about it, I had like about a half hour of free time this afternoon. I just created a quick video and pushed it out talking about the topic.
Nice. Yeah, no, I saw that I got tagged in it. Am I still having issues or no? You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, it's just my audio on my end. I'll figure this out. All right, so let's jump into some chat here. Just want to say hey to Joffrey, hey to Bolts, Young Eagles, Merlin's Matrix, Bolts' No Warriors will be here. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Everybody's talking about your video. I just finished that video and now I'm here. Dragon says, hey everyone, I still have to catch the video from Tails. I'll pass round 2 tonight. Where do I place my bets? Must be on Moon Cards or Soul Keep. I would bet against me. All right. Oh, People's Guild in the house. What's going on? Dragon says, my old man brain is so fried. All right. Good evening. Cool. Guys, looks like we can check in for the tournament. So make sure you do that now. And how do I check in? Are you playing tonight, Tails?
I'm gonna click some random buttons and hope for the best.
Nice. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take out these headphones entirely. And I'm just gonna listen to the audio here.
From a tournament strategy, I've been coached to just pick tofu and good to go.
So I would love to get some tips on Cryptic because I know that he's like an underrated summoner out there. And oddly enough, every time I play with him, my win rate is actually quite good. So I'm just trying to figure out when I should be playing him more because there's only like certain instances where I'll use him. But he's very, very effective.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, it's a finesse. It's knowing when to play, I think for sure. But Cryptic is definitely one of the stronger Rebellion summoners for legendaries. You know, I think the stats, if I believe what I heard correctly, is it's Tofu by a long shot for wins and played usage, and then Lorcus number 2, and then I'm thinking probably Cryptic is probably coming in 3rd or 4th there, generally speaking. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting, so definitely things we should touch on today if we have time. Probably talk about the Nidhogger proposal results and what that means moving forward, because I've heard people that were opposed to the Nidhogger proposal saying they want to introduce a tofu proposal. So it's interesting how that kind of, I understand it, I get it, but it is interesting nonetheless from a pure philosophical point of view.
Can you explain it to me? Because I don't get it. Because to me, if you vote against one, you vote against both. Maybe you could, I don't know. Can you explain it to me?
I think the reasoning is one is because one was a buff of a unit and the other is a nerf of a unit. So there's differences in what's happening probably. But I think one was trying to get the meta to change to use the card more, where the second one is getting the meta to change to stop the abuse of everyone using the same card and making the meta stale and not really like a skill type of setup anymore. So I think that's the division or the lines on where you might be able to say, hey, I voted for one and not the other. But I think that's definitely related to the second thing I think we should talk about. And, you know, it's Bjangle's article talking about why he's not inclined to play ranked battles anymore, which I thought was probably the biggest news that I've personally heard in Splinterlands for quite some time, because there hasn't really been any news from a game perspective per se. So I think that's definitely warranted about discussion. I know we've got Bjangles in chat.
Bjangles in chat, yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
maybe we can get him on the stream to talk about it.
Bjangles, you're always welcome if you want to come on. Can we get the TLDR though? Because I have not had a chance to catch up with it.
I mean, I don't want to paraphrase or speak for Bjangles. It's probably better that he explained his stance and his reasonings. I think I definitely understand where he's coming from, and it's definitely a warning sign. But yeah, I think it's better that he kind of go through that than me.
Gotcha.
All right then. I just don't understand where is the incentive to play then if it's not in ranked play? Is he talking about like just tournaments or?
Yeah, I think it was more just because the state of the modern play is in a spot that's really bad. It's been compounded by a number of card releases and game design decisions. That it's just to play the game, it's better to play it passively through scholars and other methods rather than to actually spend the time to play the game moving forward. And I don't want to paraphrase for him. I mean, that maybe he's changed his stance or maybe he can give better ideas, but I think he's definitely saying that there's a problem. There's smoke basically in the forest right now, right? There's a problem and something needs to be looked at and probably done to address it. And it's probably not just him that's, having those thoughts or, going with that kind of stance or take.
Well, so the thing is, B-Jangles, shout out to B-Jangles because he's very much on like the competitive end of like this game. I don't know that he focuses as much on like the earnings that we do. Not that you have to, but he's like his content and all the stuff that he's done is very much about what's the meta like, how is this as a game, and how do you play at the highest level. So my issue with Splinterlands has always been the fact that it would be nice to have more of a competitive scene. And once Ghost Card competition came into the mix, I was really hoping that there would be something for that, because I haven't read the thing, but if I'm reading between the lines here, just kind of insinuating that it's so freaking expensive to play at the highest levels in modern. So when I think about, for myself, ranked play, it's like, okay, what can my current collection earn me, whether that's in modern or wild? Now, that's not a representation of my skill set. That's just a representation of my skill set plus my collection and how well that it can do, or a bot can do, or a scholar can do. But that means that the game is still severely lacking a place in which pure, competitive enthusiasts can come in and really thrive, which, you and I talk about parallel a lot. I mean, you're much more well versed in it, but it's, the fact that people can play all the way to the top there and participate and compete at these high level tournaments is exactly what I'd love to see in something like Splinterlands. But we don't have the true infrastructure for it. I think it's slowly being built, but there's no focus on it. It's not there. And sadly, it's not, if it's going to be done, it's going to be done by third parties with, I think Dwayne was running something earlier tonight, which is cool, but we just don't have that here. Am I understanding his point?
Yeah, I think so. And I think you bring up some good points as well on the tournament or competitive scene or the competitive meta at the top of the game. In a healthy meta, when you're playing an opponent, there's multitudes of choices that are made, right? And that's where the skill comes in when you are playing against an opponent where multiple choices make a difference. And the two to three things that really are probably barriers for Splinterlands from an esports or competitive standpoint right now. One is just the RNG within the auto battler system of Splinterlands. Once you set it and forget it, it's just you're at the fate of RNG at that point. And so there's a big swing. So, for any serious competitive like esports player, it's going to be a major turnoff where they put the best lineup in statistically and they lose because of bad RNG, and it happens more often than not in some cases. So that's a problem, but that's inherent with the game mechanics itself, and it's a bigger thing to kind of work on. The second thing is, when you have a meta that's healthy, you have a lot of different cards and factions or elements being used, and you have a lot of different choices, and there's no single one choice that is just spammed all the time, repetitively, because that's not skill. That's just spamming a badly designed or implemented card mechanic or whatever. And that's the third point, which I think is interesting, and I'm sure it's going to be a hot topic for Splinterlands, but what makes Parallel and games like Gods Unchained unique, or maybe not unique, but more like traditional games like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone and stuff, is they have like erratas, or they have updates to cards post card release or post card purchase. There's regular balancing, there's regular nerfs, and it's to, as new cards are introduced, there's sometimes unforeseen effects or behaviors or interactions that can break the game essentially. And if you never change the game, or you never change the cards, or you never fix them, it can break your competitive scene and break your game, because at that point, then everyone's playing the same thing for months on end and it just gets stale.
Yeah.
And I think what Bjangle's concern is, and again, I don't want to speak for him directly, but I think one of the concerns from a community in general is that Tofu is so strong with no real, at least well thought out counters right now, because things like, I think it was, what is it, Fizbo and some of these other things are in the Earth. They're in, they're in the Earth Splinter, which doesn't make sense, and some other things. But in either case, with you not being able to errata or fix some of those mistakes and balance things and nerf things or boost things, you are stuck in a card meta for months or maybe years on end that just kills your community and kills the enthusiasm for your game. Whereas putting out just a patch would fix that pretty quickly. And now, since Rebellion is going to be the leading set in Modern for the next year and a half, let's say, and Tofu is going to lead the way, the question is, for the next year and a half, are we all just miserable? And that's, I think, a couple points to bring out.
Well, this really brings back the Untamed vibe of like Kitty just dominating, right? There not being enough kitties, and Kitty dominating the same way that Tofu might be dominating now.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right, so quick reminder for folks, 3 minutes until the tournament begins, so you can still enter, and make sure you check in if you have not checked in already. And if you do enter, make sure you also check in right afterwards. You got about 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. Okay, well, thank you for digging into that. Let me catch up on the chat now, because I think People's Guild was offering some other insights as well. So Bolts is your financial advice too. Afterson, you beat me. GG's. All right, looks like this one I was having my audio issues. All right, Evening Burning Elk. Bolt says it's a great video, Tales. First time after sound with the technicals. The People's Guild says, yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, not sure why the argument answer is $2 or $4. A dynamic pricing solution feels like a no-brainer. I don't disagree. Check-in time. Going to watch, but I'm torn on the pack price. Tales, if you break my tourney again. That was funny last time. I sure hope California Epics and Legendaries live up to their rarity. Cryptic is much better in that 30 plus mana range. So I did beat Tofu actually recently with Cryptic. Hold on, let's see if I can flex a little bit here. Where was it? It was recent. Somewhere. There it is. How much mana was this? 31. So look at that. Falling right within Bjangle's analysis. So this is why Bjangles is on top of the meta. All right, Luke says, I'm in the tournament. Beware. Jocker says, Lorcus, thank you for the Tofu delegation. Just hit Champ 3 in Wild. Hell yeah, man. Good job. Here's the data. All right, I will quit the game forever if they nerf Tofu. They don't own Nidhogger, Lorcus. Tofu isn't that good. I beat it all the time. If they buff Nitty, they should perform Tofu for sure. Or they should nerf Tofu. All right, People's Guild. Oh, hold on. I'm like a little behind here. Oh man says you can open up a can of worms. They should sell packs at $1 at this point. Hey, that was my point. That they should sell packs for $1. Jangles is mad right now. So, chat, we're going to send him a box of vapes. All right, you guys are funny. Parallel is a good example of good card design. Do you agree with that, Tails?
So with any card game, there's going to be hits and misses. What Parallel is good at is, I think, knowing when there's an issue, listening to the community and addressing it. So if you look at Parallel, the history of Parallel, let's say for the last year, there's ebbs and flows where metas come and metas go because of the teams listening to the community and addressing things like Kathy nerfs or Naeus nerfs or Sippy nerfs. Mm-hmm. And it makes it a dynamic environment where every tourney is different. Every list for every tournament changes because the game changes. It's dynamic. So they do that well, I think.
Yeah. They do make unilateral and executive decisions when it comes to just changing cards, though. And the first time I noticed that was with Lemmy. But the thing is, Lemmy is not a card that people buy. So I guess, is it only changes to the Paragons, or do they make changes to the cards as well?
The cards as well.
Okay, so
yeah, it's a double-edged sword for sure.
Yeah,
especially if you're buying cards. But yeah, I mean, I think it's necessary for card games to do that because of the dangers if you don't do it.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so do we have 18 players today? Is that all that checked in?
If you go back to
no, 37 players checked in. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if you go back to the tournament screen, one of the other things we should talk about is data integrity. Because if you look at that tournament screen, it says there's $16,000 in prizes upcoming. I did the math and I didn't calculate $16,000 in prizes there. So I don't know where that number is coming from. So that might be a little false advertising for the marketing team to look at.
I mean, I
can actually give you maybe some insight into that. Maybe it's bad intel, but when I create this tournament, it makes up a random number for how much my delegations are worth. I've reset that number many times, and if I forget, it will sometimes just make up a fake huge number. And it stalled the tournament one time because it thought I was giving away thousands of dollars of stuff. So I think they have a problem with their tournament creation, just making up numbers. If you aren't really careful, it's going to make up a new number for you, and it was supposed to be the old number.
Tails though, I mean, I saw enough like in the $400 to $500 range that 16,000 doesn't seem that wild. Like 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, see, I'm skipping all the 300 ones. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, I mean, that's what, 7. I mean, I calculated like roughly $7,000. But yeah, maybe 16 is a little high. Because see, even Lorcus with yours, it's only giving you $104 right now, with DEC and custom prizes. I wonder, Tails, if
there's no way it's worth $104, right? Like, it's just making that up. Like, I didn't put that number in there.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, I'm just saying it's. I mean, I don't know how to value it, so.
I did it at one point. I tried just like what the average rental price was, and when I put it in there, it just made up something different. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me continue to catch up on chat. So, but that was a good insight on Parallel. Tara Draz. I don't think I've seen this name before. Welcome to the stream. And, all right, since we talk about spam, anyone tried spam musubi? I have not. People's Guild says, I think the framework I propose as part of the article is a must in terms of protecting the meta and investment for folks. All right, I'm excited to read this article. Lamacron as well back in the day. Oh, that was so fun to rent. All right, well, Yabamat keeps telling people to create a proposal and then bang, nothing happens after it passes. I don't know that that's true. The only thing that they didn't change was when we said rebellion packs for leaderboard prizes a while back, right? They never implemented that. But outside of that, I don't think that anything else has been skipped. Jangle says, Tofu is far more impressive than Kitty. Tofu has played more than 3 times what Kitty has played in Wild. Interesting. Did not know that. Are there more Tofus than Kitties out there too?
Well, I'm curious, I guess, more if Tofu is played more than Kitty was when Kitty came out. Kitty used to be the only card worth playing.
Yeah, Kitty. There was a lot of Kitties
before Chaos Legion, even with Chaos Legion. Yeah. So I don't know. To me, I'd be more interested in that comparison than what it's doing now in Wild.
Agreed. Oct12 is in the house. Welcome to the family. Joffrey Jones says there should be proper testing of cards and specified time limits to balance cards post-release. That'd be interesting. They'd set up something like that. All right, cheaper packs will mean cheaper cards, meaning lower value retention for the set. I don't know why people want it cheaper. Do you agree with that? Either of you?
My video talks
I do not.
about the pack pricing. I think it should be dynamic, but I think it ideally should, at a minimum, be lower than $4. And I don't think protecting card prices is the reason to keep it at $4. And I talk about it in the video.
No,
Yeah.
that's a stupid reason. Absolutely stupid reason. I'm just going to be blunt about it. Like, card prices aren't maintained from Rebellion because they were expensive. That's just not true. It's because there was something to do with the cards and that they didn't end up in people's hands, which I think is stupid also. But like for me, I could not delegate these cards out until airdrops were done. That is part of the reason why they maintain prices. It has nothing to do with the cost of them. If they were lower cost, we'd have more people with them and we would have less problems with our economy.
Yeah, like so I'm trying to understand this from two angles, right? Like the set within itself and then the set in relation to everything else. So the set within itself, if you reduce the pack price, then the cards are essentially cheaper, which I don't think is a bad thing because it's easier onboarding. So instead of like, well, we'll say like 8,000 for Rebellion, you drop the pack price to $2 and all of a sudden it's $4,000 to get a max level set or max level set. Now the thing is, what then becomes interesting is, okay, so that's internally, but then when you compare it to previous sets, if in relation to, like, let's say Conclave Arcana to Rebellion is $8,000, or it was $8,000 when it first came out, and then you have a new set that comes out that's $4,000. I don't know, I don't buy the argument that like cheaper cards in the future make the older cards lose their value. I guess I can understand. It's
the opposite. To me, it puts more pressure on them as people own full decks of Conclave Arcana and want to augment them with cards that rarely exist because they're Rebellion. Anything that puts more pressure because there's complete decks in other sets.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can say that because cards, like as an asset class, are inflationary. You make them cheaper in one area, then people will just flock to those and they'll never need the Rebellion ones. But that's not how like collectible card games work. And also, I don't think that it needs to be like something perfect. If people want the Rebellion cards, they're going to get them. Just like, even look at the folks now who are all scooping up Untamed cards because they're cheap, right? Like, there's, I don't know. I think the pros outweigh the cons.
The Landworker strategy really allows older cards to maintain some value, but that is dependent on a team delivering land before it's only owned by 2 people.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Crypto OMZ, what up, y'all? All right. No, Luke, think about it. Spoiling is living on the edge, and we need to attract new players. Young Eagle says Parallel changes cards pretty often and don't care if people already paid for them. Take that as you will. Dragon says, I think one way or another, we're pricing out people with $4 packs, explaining about crypto and values, another lesson entirely. Gulf of America. Let's freaking go. MA says, couldn't make it home in time to play this week. Boo. It's all good. Stick around. I'm sure if you hang out, Lorcas will send you something. I forgot.
Yeah, we have almost as many cards on offer as we have people playing the tournament, right?
Oh, nice. Check that out. Forgot YouTube is the active place, but I can't comment. Oh, you're still having issues with that. I don't know why. I gotta say though, MA, I mean, not personally to you, but I think it's a you problem, not a YouTube problem, or not like a stream problem, because it seems like nobody else is having that issue. Luke says, I mean, we don't want what happened to Chaos, just free fall in price over time. But the reason that Chaos was a free fall in price was not because of cheap packs. The packs were still $4. And yes, I know that there were some massive sales, but it's just because there were so many cards out there. And I would say that the real issue is that it was compounded by bots early on. Everybody was buying packs, cracking packs, and renting them out to the bots in the first half of 2022 because those returns were outrageous. And then once they cracked down on the bots, all of that went away and people were just left with cards that nobody wanted to rent anymore. I don't think that you'd have that issue if Conclave Arcana were to come out with $1 packs, for example, right? Like, people would just buy whatever they want. They wouldn't buy a shit ton of extra cards because there's no other utility for that. They would just get whatever that they needed, which I think is Matt's intention. And if the rental market is good, then maybe they buy extras for the rental market, but that rental market is now determined by people and accounts that are playing and not a bunch of bot accounts that are going to take one BCX cards and pay like a, you know, whatever it was, like a 50% ROI for one BCX cards. I want to enjoy this game or return. The Japanese pack pricing has a lot to do with 400 copies of a common. Yeah, I know, that's just still outrageous to me, honestly. Untamed is cheap because people want outs, says Liberty Guy. What's up, Liberty Guy? Hope all is well. Gotta get rid of that wild pass. The comment using computer. Nice. All right, so People's Guild says to answer your question, there are about 400 more BCX of tofu than Kitty. That's interesting because there's still a lot of unopened. There's still a lot of unopened Rebellion packs. Although I guess there's still a lot of unopened Untamed packs. How many more? Interesting. Okay. Bro, your haircut looks amazing. Because of that, I'm paying $2,500 worth of SPS. All right, I'm glad I could inspire you, G Sammy.
Isn't there like 50% of the Rebellion packs that aren't burned still unopened, or is my memory faulty on that?
I mean, we have like 900,000 packs. There's like 1 million packs in circulation, either opened or unopened. Sorry, there's 1 million packs I think that were purchased. Of that, there's like 75,000 that remain unopened or in circulation. But then we also have another 900,000 sitting in the DAO. Which
yeah, if you add that 900,000 to the 75,000 that are circulating, there are more unopened Rebellion.
Oh yeah, there's a hell of a lot more.
Opened.
Yeah, it's just at some point, like, when is that going to come out? When will people vote with the DAO decision?
I mean, if you listen to how the DAO has been talking so far, those packs are going to be burned or used as like digital building blocks to build a new fortress or something. They're never going to be released to the ground.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say that that's not a terrible idea. I don't want them to come out anytime soon. That devalues cards for people who bought Rebellion, and even though I didn't buy Rebellion, I wouldn't want that to happen to you guys.
I don't know that that's how I feel about it. I would like to find a useful way to release it to the community that drives engagement in ways that we want engagement to happen. Maybe not all 900,000 of them, but I want them to be used. I do not want them to be burned. Yeah,
well, that's fair. And here's the thing: I don't mind them sitting in the DAO for an indefinite period of time. Like, there's no rush for me to burn them. Just let them sit there until we can figure something out that makes sense. When I was doing the math, I think it was like 50,000 packs for the leaderboard prizes is what I was calculating over the course of like a year or two, or I think 2 years, if we were to like just replace packs replace DEC with packs, which to me is like low inflation, right? It's like 1,000 or 2,000 packs per season, or sorry, 1,000 packs per season, 2,000 packs per month, which I think the community can absorb for the next, we'll say 18 months or so. But beyond that, I would say that if we were to get a 2, 3, 4x in the amount of players here, that's actually like people coming in to play the game, I wouldn't mind, that stuff sneaking out of the DAO one way or another if we know that there's players that want these cards.
Yeah, I guess my problem with leaderboard prizes is that they're going to people that have these cards. That's what the leaderboard is made up of. So they're just going to get sold that way. I'd rather just find a
True.
smarter way to distribute them that gets them to people. I think potentially giving them as the bonus for promo for buying Cardplay of Arcana is a good way to encourage sales
I mean,
of the next set while powering you up.
Lorcus,
that's what I think is more interesting.
Lorcus, your account is consistently on the leaderboard. You get, probably a decent amount of DEC. What do you do with that every season? Or better question, what does your scholar do with their DEC?
Yeah, so it's split with my scholar, as you pointed out. The mine stays in my account and is used to increase whatever cards are needed to make the deck better, either for playing or for land. I don't know fully what my scholar does with all of this, but I do know that he's been building up his personal account that he bought some wild. I don't know if all of the proceeds go there. But that's what he uses it for. He's trying to build out his own deck.
Well, I guess what I was trying to say is even if there is a mass sell-off every 15 days of 1,000 packs. Oh, Xandroid, what happened? But even if there's a mass sell-off of, 1,000 packs, I think that we would be able to absorb that. It's not a high amount of inflation, and these cards are still highly desirable. Cat, what do you want? Leave me alone, please. You'll get food later.
You really shouldn't talk to your child that way after
All over.
No, I think you're potentially right. I don't love things that I think are going out that I think are going to automatically get sold, but potentially.
I see where you're coming from, so I guess I'm not. It was just an idea that I would be okay with pursuing, but for me, I would rather that stuff get sold than DEC get sold, or DEC get inflated more so.
I see what you're saying in replacement of DEC. Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know if that would be as attractive for my scholar, and that would probably who I'd ask on how to go through that. Because to me, it doesn't make a lot of difference. That the DEC is not making a massive change in what I'm putting into Splinterlands. So I don't know that would be a huge deal breaker for me. It just depends on whether my scholar would want to play as much. I don't know.
That makes sense. All right, let me see if my picks are gonna work. Let's give Delia True Strike. Oh, and this dude. Let's see what happens, Android. All right, while we're waiting on that, let me go back to the chat.
I think so. One of my matches in the tournament bugged. I wasn't able to submit my battle or choose my tactics. And I think there's a bunch of other people that are having problems with their battles in the tournament as well. So, one of the things that we should do is provide feedback to Blaze or whoever at the company, because if we're gonna have tournaments, they need to work. So
yeah, that can be my job. I should probably be raising that. Sorry guys, I'll get on that.
No, you're good. We've been talking about this for a bit, so they should definitely be a little bit. They should be aware of that. It doesn't need to be you. We can talk to them too.
Does anyone know if this is just at our tournaments, if this is just in Ghost Card tournaments, or what the scope of these problems is? Anyone seeing this normally?
I don't know, to be honest. I just know that there's been a lot of really bug things. So I'm sure they would appreciate us letting them know. GG's, Android. Sorry if you bugged out of the first one. Dude, I'm in 6th place. Let's freaking go. All right, let's see. So in the qualifier round, we had All right, I know IW is a top tier player. They've won or been at the top for a bit. Oh no, Sinister. Sorry, oh, you got bugged out.
Cosmic
Cosmic.
Catrellwood.
Oh, isn't that the worst? Actually, that's my favorite thing to do. Still, I love when I can throw one of those soulbound summoners in and then take out, I don't know, any one of the new Rebellion legendary summoners with the gladiators, because I'm like, these
But
cards.
Katrova gets eaten up by Tofu. Oh my god, it's gross.
Yeah. Well, that's true. All right, so Liberty Guy over Firebolts, GG's. You had Ran over Dragon. Sorry, Dragon. Eye Blast over Shark Monsters. Come on, Shark Monsters. All right, Cat, for real. Like, you ate like 3 hours ago. You don't need more food. Oh, Ghosty BG made it. Let's go. BJ. Sorry, I meant Ghosty BG made it to the tournament. I know it's pretty late over there. Jangles, congrats. Young Eagles, congrats. All right. Cool. Oh my god. You know what? I'm not going to let you go now. You can come and say... No, stop it. Stop it. You can go and say hi to the stream now. Yeah, look at that.
You're about to get clawed to death, and you probably deserve it.
Nah, dude, my cat is so chill. So chill. Watch. I can hold him like a baby.
That's very cool.
I can hold him like a
Your
baby.
cat
I
does
can rub his
not
belly.
look happy about that.
I can rub his belly. Look at that. Oh, yeah. He's just a big bear. Oh, yeah, I know. I love you, too. You just want more food.
Mm.
All right. Do me a favor and go nap. Do something productive with your life until I'm done with the stream, and then I'll give you more food. He literally ate.
I
like,
wish
ate like
napping was
now-
considered productive for me. That would be great.
I know. All right. Where were we? Let's jump back into the chat. Y'all are really active today. All right, so MA says, yeah, Desktop says I need to create a channel, which doesn't make sense, so I'll use mobile. Oh, wait, I mean, you need to create a channel. That's weird. You can't just have an account. Thanks for opening wounds from chaos. Yeah, sorry. I mean, that's so easy to do, though, Bolts. Come on, if you...
Those ones never healed, so I don't know about opening them.
I mean, A-Stack says, I hope the team can find utility for land post 1.75. I thought conflicts and conflict wagon repair cost was cool. Yeah, I mean, I hope that they can make it to land 2.0 at some point in the next, before 2030, I'll be honest. MA says, I've always played Wild, still do. 100% manual play too. Nice. All right. Do we repair for every airdrop? I think that's going to be the case. Dow's going to burn packs. I don't support giving packs to spellbook buyers. If they change to $2 pack price, do you up the amount you need for airdrops?
No. Like, the whole point is to make the set more accessible.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, the thing is, this is all in the spirit of, like, Matt saying, let's try something different. We don't have to do it the way we always used to. Might as well give them a rebellion.
Ooh, I disagree with that one. Yeah, don't give them rebellion packs.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna have like so many spell books purchased.
All right, so Joffrey says, when can the team benefit active players like a BP? What's a BP?
Battle Pass.
A battle pass every month where you can earn a unique legendary max card every month for playing.
I agree with Joffrey here. This is a great example. I mean, this is not rocket science. I mean, Weirbeer was talking about it 3 or 4 years ago, whatever it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, Off the Grid has battle passes, Parallel has battle passes, Battle Rise has battle passes. I buy battle passes for pretty much all those games every month, and I have no problem doing it because it's worth it. It's fun. It keeps me engaged, and I keep playing the games because of it. I don't know why we aren't here yet. It's crazy, but
the thing is, you wouldn't even need a battle pass. Imagine if what they did was even more extreme than what I've suggested in the past, where instead of like changing it every 3 months or changing it every 18 months, like what if there was just 4 new reward cards every month in the shop, right? That you could get with your glint. And so it's just like it's just a matter of like, are you playing in the month of January 2025? Because then you can get these cards. And if you don't play or you don't get enough, then you'll have to go to the market and buy from somebody who was here, right? Which is essentially what Parallel offers, right? Like it's only available during that time period. So it really is rewarding for players who are here and now and players who have been around for a while, because you have a much more complete collection rather than being able to come in month, 15 out of 18, the cards are there and still grab a huge amount of them, right? And I understand maybe there's a benefit to that too, but when it comes to scarcity, which I think, we're all big fans of here, including Matt, that would be the way to go.
Well, here's an example I'll give you from Parallel. It's interesting that I just came across just today, actually. They had a Battle Pass card back that was released last month. And with the Battle Pass, the card backs and the cosmetics are not NFTs. They're soulbound. But you can burn Prime or sync Prime to create NFTs and make NFT versions of them. And it's kind of expensive. I think it's like 1 or 2 Prime. I'm not sure exactly how much it is. And people are really valuing Prime, and they don't want to use Prime to make these NFTs. Well, I checked that card back from just a couple weeks ago. I guess it was December or whatever. There's only 6 copies in the universe of that card back that people actually spent Prime to sync it and burn it. So if anyone wants that card back in the future, it's a 1 of 6 basically. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's stuff like that where, if Parallel takes off and people just want, to collect things, even if they don't, like, it's just, there's a social flex to it of like having like a 1 of 6, right, in that collection. And that's the thing, it's a cosmetic, right, the card back.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, stuff like that just gives you exactly what Nate talks about all the time, this emotional relationship with the game of being like, I got this stuff that nobody else has or very few other people have. I should give a slap in the face of those who bought. I would much rather put there in the jackpot and reward existing players. Our G Sammy says, what if I take a crypto loan on Binance of 2,000, having 10 kids play on 10 different Splinterlands accounts, giving them 2 Happy Meals per day for grinding SPS to pay my loan? Is that smart? No, I don't think that. I don't
definitely
think
evil.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the ethical aspects of it, which we won't get into, I would say that any kind of crypto loan at what probably like not the top-ish of the market, but we're very much in the final stage of the bull run, I wouldn't go for. I mean, I would just be careful with any kind of crypto loans in general.
So can we talk about that statement, since we're all here for the financial advice?
Of course, go for it.
Do you think we're at the end or the top of the bull run?
No, I think that there's a lot of signs that's going to make people believe that we are. But no, I think we're going to see some interesting fireworks at some point.
Okay.
But
what's a bull run? What are we talking about?
No,
what's
just like
that? It's what Bitcoin's been doing for the last 6 months.
You had me for a second. Well, I don't know if you were following the executive orders that Trump was putting out today, but all the Bitcoin maxis were really upset and they felt rug pulled because he keeps talking about Bitcoin and crypto, or talking about like a crypto strategic reserve rather than a Bitcoin reserve. So, in a way,
I mean, he launched the Trump meme coin, so that might be part of the strategic reserve. Given how much that exploded, that's crazy.
I saw a really interesting post on X today that was saying there will be no more alt seasons because there's too many altcoins out there, that it won't be concentrated in the way that it was in 2017 and then in 2021. You're going to have massive pumps of all these meme coins that are going to suck up liquidity from everywhere and then drop out, right? What happened with Trump, and then it rotated to the Melania coin. And I'm sure there'll be some like rotations here and there where some AI will pop off. But basically what it was saying is that there's not enough money to pump all of the alts, right? People are just going to come rushing all into alts, which again, I thought was interesting because obviously there is a lot of money out there, but I think retail is also kind of scared. So there might be a point that we won't have the same type of alt season that we've had in the past. Although I think if gaming takes off, I think all games benefit, but it may not look like 2021 where it was like Axie Infinity and a handful of others. And this is why I've been very bearish on Splinterlands in many cases, because people like the new and shiny. People like, if you have a solid marketing team and connections like Parallel and Off the Grid and all these, like you're gonna eat up pretty much all of the attention if everything starts popping off.
Yeah, and I don't know if you participated at all in any of the crypto fund that was last weekend, but I wasn't even participating in it. I was just kind of a sideline, active crypto person, and I was trying to just move Solana from one wallet to another. I started, I think it was, I don't even know, Saturday night. It took 3 days and 2 failed transactions for me to move Solana from one wallet to another.
What were these 2 private wallets?
No, they were my wallets. Yeah, just my wallets. And I was just trying to move something. Just
it wasn't exchange to.
No, not even exchange. It was just from. Yeah, it was just.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on here? Well, I take that back. One of them was a Coinbase wallet. So
I did hear issues about Coinbase withdrawals on Solana. That's why I was curious, which is really not acceptable, to be honest. But because people were complaining about that, where it's just like, dude, Solana is one of the fastest chains and cheap and all that. But I don't know, man. I think it's just going to be weird. My hope is that for Splinterland's sake, that there is some kind of gaming pop off, but I don't know. I genuinely think that we can do a lot of damage ourselves in a good way if the Conclave Arcana pre-sale goes well and you get a lot of the same buyers who went heavy in Rebellion. I do think that you can move the price of SPS a couple of X's, which is not difficult now because it's a small market cap. It's less than a penny. But if we can create the narrative and we have solid, marketing in place, and just like good word of mouth, anywhere from like the 3 to 5 cent range, I think is enough to pique interest. Again, it's all about green candles. But when you have the top players in the game earning 10, 20, 30 bucks a day, I think that type of word of mouth marketing can get out there. The problem is that are we going to do that on our own, or is the rest of the market going to take off, or it'll be a combination of both? I don't know, but I'm hoping that, March, April, May timeframe will be good for Splinterlands.
Well, I have 2 comments on that, or 2 points to add. One is, I don't know, did you read my comment to your video on that topic from the other day where you talked about the 2 catalysts for SPS for 2025?
I did, but remind me again.
So 2 points there is when you talk about the people that bought Rebellion buying again. I mean, there are, and I don't want to speak for them, but I mean, there are people in the community that were definitely vocal proponents and known buyers of Rebellion in, I would say, large quantities, that are not vocal either players or, let's say, Conclave Arcana banner waivers at this point. Whether they will be in April or not, let's see. But I don't think it's guaranteed that you see that same return of players and capital into the next set. And the second point is, and it reiterates your concern earlier, is that Splinterlands is not the shiny new toy with an SPS airdrop that's booming right now in 2025. Yep. It's the exact opposite. It's exact opposite pretty much. So that is a problem, I would say, that getting the attention or mind share from all these meme coins and whatever else might be popping on Ronin or IMX or wherever else, Abstract, Avalanche, whatever. I mean, by the time any money gets down to Splinterlands, I mean, it just could be a trickle, really, in the grand scheme of things. So for us to hope that market go up and, things are better is just I mean, kind of a futile hope. It's we are in charge of our destiny. When I say we, I mean the SPS DAO and Splinterline as a company. If we don't make changes and we don't build during the bear and deliver what we need to deliver and focus on the right things, well, we're going to reap what we sow in the bull market. And it's not going to be anywhere near what we're hoping for or expecting. So that's I would say point number one. And we talk about green candles go up. I mean, Parallel just released their earnings for December just like a day or two ago, and the earnings were very strong. You can check my X and see some of the reposts on that, and they got a ton of press on that. I mean, some of the, let's say, top 100 players in Parallel last month, brought home over $1,500 for playing in Parallel in December. And there's multiple posts on X about it. So they got a ton of free press on X and everywhere else about what's going on over there. Does that drive new players and growth to the game? I mean, we'll see. I think it does invariably, but it's not like Prime jumped 20% on that news, or all the card prices started skyrocketing immediately. It's a very different crypto market now than it was in 2021 or 2017, so we have to be aware of that.
Prime is actually down quite a bit, but actually all of the altcoins seem to be down. So, oh gosh, Heloise, not her. Let's see.
Rick Waterman, that one's also brutal.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going with a Chaos Legion strategy here, so we'll see if that ends up working out. Who took the hit? All right, sweet.
A couple of pretty solid Rebellion cards there in Rage and Smith.
You're right. And Rage, Rage is pretty awesome.
I love Rage. Great card. I'm still missing one VCX C-Rec. If anybody has one of those, they fire away.
Man, I don't want to jinx it, but immunity exposed. Oh, shield exposed.
I told you Rick Onneman's trouble, man.
Yeah, he is. Fine, that's fine. Bakjira can take the hit. Oh, she comes back with that?
The weight is gone. Ooh.
Oh, I'm about to
taking a beating.
I'm about to lose her. Oh! Actually, I forgot that she had shield.
Reflection shield. I honestly didn't know reflection shield worked on Heloise's attack.
Oh, and he has stun? How does he have so many abilities? Oh, never mind.
So Royal Eagle is asking right now what sort of issues we're having in tournament. Since I'm not playing, can anyone describe them to me so that I can describe them to Royal Eagle?
Yeah, I have a screenshot from my game I can send to you in Discord.
Yeah, thanks.
I missed the first battle with Keeks, but GG's Keeks. 15. I didn't make top 10 this time. But I would say that's because we actually had a decent turnout. 31 players. Or 37 players? Something like that. So let's see. Liberty Guy beat Ghostly BG. Congrats. Runners and Young Eagles. That should be a good one. Jangles with the win. Well done. Well done. All right. Let me continue catching up on chat because you guys are fast typers. Sorry, my match. I see, dude, every single time I try one of these ghost card things, I nearly run out of time because I'm checking out all these cards. Yeah, but that's the fun of it. Mine too, lame. Sorry, guys. I had to refresh to even see that I had a battle to play. Yeah, well, that was my fault, actually. I wasn't looking at the screen. Starting my second one on purpose. Even signing a tournament gave me errors. They've had issue for months now. I'm pretty sure I put a ticket in a while. I put a ticket in. All right, with these Ghost Card tournaments, I'm not used to this many cards. I'm used to renting 70.
Yeah, how many cards are there? Like 600 something? Oh no, that's the full set.
We
I
should.
don't know what's in modern.
We should do a wild one at some point just to really shake it up.
Dude, I'd be down with that, or even like a weird one, like only ADU or something.
I mean,
Take
yeah,
out all the moderns.
you can make the next one wild if you want.
Okay, let's do it.
I only play a couple other 24 hours type tournaments, so I'm not sure if they're bugged or not. Sorry, Caps. Sorry, got my ass kicked again. Don't worry, we all did. 2 a.m. for me. Dude, Luke, thanks for hanging out. 2 a.m. Wow. Liberty Guy, next time, buy me a meal if you're going to whoop me like that. And Ghostly BG, it's 4 in the morning for you. Damn, well, thanks for hanging out, guys. I guess it is like Friday, so. Well, Ghostly, that's the mighty fine fighting spirit, brother. All right, those are the best kind of cats. Oh, wow. Hold on. That's how far behind on chat? Oh, my God. I'm 20 minutes behind on chat. All right. LOL, catch are the best. All right. Hold on. All right. To that point, the Soulbound card release schedule needs to be completely revamped too. Releasing new reward sets every 12 to 18 months is brutal for anyone coming in after the first 1 to 2 months.
It's true, but it'll also be brutal if people miss out on 1 or 2 months. So, like special ones, but maybe that is more fair than being limited and handicapped over the entire set.
Yeah,
there's an interesting discussion there for sure.
Yeah. Oh, Tails, I just saw your private comment, but that's
Me too.
I won't say things out loud, but you're right. I mean, there definitely have been some people that have disappeared. LL Kitty commercial break. All right, to that point. All right, so I keep on adding 1 hour to my alarm clock. Benefits of being unemployed crypto investor. Good for you. Yeah, we might be close. I sold XRP a few days ago. I think Trump made a good appointment today for someone who wants BTC for the US. Game says round 2's in progress, so I'm not getting that. Try restarting. It loves to Paris. Yeah, it does, Keys. We've played a couple times now. People like new and shiny. They don't really like old coins that are down 90+%. They don't like baggage, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, who does?
I mean, look at ETH right now.
Ashton Kutcher likes baggage. I'm not sure.
Ashton does like baggage. But look at ETH right now compared to Solana. Solana, I know it was around last time, but I mean, ETH is just, it's struggling, man. I think the flipping is going to happen this time, but it's not going to be Bitcoin and ETH. It's going to be Solana and ETH. Lorcus, his beard reminds me of my cat. That looked like Garfield. He's all eating from my cereal with milk in his face. Oh, dude,
yeah, man. There's so much stuff that I have to be careful to like part and shape my beard as a mustache as it's growing. Otherwise, like it gets in everything. Still, like a beard with a really big foam, a really big head will probably get in my mustache. But it's a definite problem. You don't want to wear your liquids all day, so you got to take care of it.
Got to groom, man. Got to groom. All right, Bolt says maybe we could. Nope, I have nothing. What if we put Blaze Cost on Mr. Beast games? Is that any good?
Oh, that's like as telling it. Was that the ones that like everybody got injured and there was no like medical help? Is that what we're talking about?
I don't know. Is it on Amazon or something? I keep seeing it around. Keeks. Oh, Keeks even tried to remind me, don't forget your game, and I still forgot. How far that I was. All right, so really juicy topics today. Love it. Although we might need a little bit of salt. Oh, I can bring the salt.
We have plenty of salt. I mean, you need something that's sweet. Someone bring some sugar.
Yeah. The final nail in our coffin could be a stubborn whales controlling things via the proposal system. I close SPL and reopen. Put password in. All right, that's good. Got to miss the first one. Check your DMs. All right, I will check my DMs. Sorry, I'm really bad about that. Our Lorcus 1 is ongoing. Have refresh for around. Oh, okay. Disregard last post. Seems I lost again. No valid presented. My match did not even let. All right, everybody's telling you what's wrong. Tomorrow, a Royal Eagle. If you're here, hope you're doing well, man.
Tomorrow is my wild tournament, and I took away CL this time for fun. 24-hour style. Oh, that's actually kind of fun. Do everything but chaos stages. That's the only thing.
Because that's the cards everyone has.
I like that actually. All right, wild tournament sounds fun. Really, I've had 3 games I lost. Were never presented. Key says I'm possibly going to be an extra buyer. We didn't go on Rebellion, but it's going on California. Interesting. Okay, so you might have some folks who will. So to that point, Tails, and to Keeks' point here, I do think you might get people who looked at Rebellion, didn't go heavy, but feel much more confident now after seeing what happened with Rebellion. And we don't know how to quantify that just yet.
No, not yet.
That's a good point.
But I do think it's non-zero. I think there are going to be people who look at Rebellion and probably decided that they didn't want to get in at the tail end, so they'll just save it for Conclave Arcana, hoping that maybe they'll rotate some of their Solana profits or something.
Yeah, I think excuse me. I think one of the other risks is that there's a lot of new projects launching or going out of beta into full release that could take attention and dollars away from Conclave Arcana in that April timeframe as well. So there's a lot of variables and moving parts. We'll have to see how it works out.
Fair enough. Liberty Guy says, are Walking Keys and Ganks still around? Anywhere from Darkest Night? Those were the good old days. Oh, actually, I do have an update for you guys. So in terms of Walking Keys and Gank, I talk to Walking Keys all the time. I know he wants to hop in on a stream at some point. Gank, I'm not sure. I think he hasn't been as focused on Splinterlands. But I was literally on the phone with Darkest Night for an hour right before this stream. I had to end my phone call with him so I could prep for the stream. But he has a message for you all. He's coming back.
Oh, that's good news.
He's coming back.
I also...
But he's been asking me a lot more about Splinterlands lately. And I kind of gave him the time frame of like when Land is coming out and Conclave Arcana, all that. So he has all intentions of coming back. And for those of you who have been very kind inviting me to your guild, I will have to politely decline. Because I actually talked to him about it today. I was just like, dude, just let me know. If you're not planning to come back, it's fine. But I may hop guilds then because I have people asking, and it'd be nice to jump into something else. But he said he's coming back, so I have to respect that, and we'll see where things go.
I have to move back in our conversation briefly and point out that you took time to prepare for this stream, and that's very nice.
That I took time to prepare for the stream. And it still didn't work. Look, my computer's not working. I'm pulling off my phone now, but hey, we're here. So
I put on
dedication, doing your homework, taking your notes.
Taking my notes. Yeah. You know how it goes. Yeah, right. All right. So Joffrey says, just opened 27 chests from hitting champ and got 2 cards. Yeah, that's never fun. So, yep, Tales from the Cryptmancer. Bolts is agreeing with you. Bolt says Walking Keys is book ETA. I'm not sure. Let's see. When did I talk with Walking Keys? That might have been today too. No, that might have been yesterday. I don't know when his book's coming out. He's still writing it. I would say. I don't want to share any details of. I would say, based on the word count he's going for and where he is right now, he's 85% of the way there. But then I think he still has to do all of the editing and rewriting and all that. So we'll see. Bolt says, don't do it. Just say soon. All right. Yeah. Book's coming out soon.
Yeah. And then Crypto MZ just brought back up the Battle Pass. Yeah, we were just talking about whether you even needed one, but setting up some sort of seasonal reward that's a much, much tighter time frame than 12 to 18 months. I guess I like the idea of there being some sort of cost associated, even if it's a staking cost, like you need a certain number of staked SPS in order to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be, I guess, at a point to this is A battle pass, just add a battle pass and take money from your player base is no good. No one wants that, right?
Yeah.
But a battle pass you look forward to and you get value out of, like you get stuff in the game that you can use from a game perspective and something to work towards and makes you want to play the game daily. That's a win-win for everyone. And so getting the battle pass right, like I love playing Parallels battle pass. I enjoy it a lot. And at the end of the day, I get cosmetics, I get legendary or rare cards and NFTs, and I have no problem, giving them my $16 every month, and I'm good. I feel I get much more value than that. They give you airdrops and all kinds of goodies. So as long as you can put something in place where it's not just a bill where the company's like saying, hey, pay us to stay here, that's good. If you feel like you're getting value, that's the key.
I'm gonna give a controversial statement here, which I would love to get your thoughts on. And I think I've talked about this previously in the past, but I'm going to double down on it now. I think one of the biggest Achilles heels for this game is the fact that part of its main rewards are cards. It inflates like the playability of cards, right? And like it makes someone like myself really not have to buy any more cards from here on out, and I still get to participate in like new metas and all that, which again, maybe there's some value to that. But when I think about it compared to something like Parallel, you get like one new card every season, right? One new card every month. And then you have to go out and either earn the cards from playing with them, which again, the free to play, I guess, is fine. But you'd have to buy the cards if you want to earn anything. And so I'm not saying the Splinterlands should go from one extreme to the other, but it's like the card inflation because of reward cards is just kind of out of control. When you look at the fact that there were 3 reward sets for Chaos Legion, and there'll probably only be 1 for Rebellion, but like that set essentially is a mini set. And
the epics from that set are the difference between leaderboard and not leaderboard.
Yeah, like for me, if I'm not looking to spend a ton of money, but I still want to be like competitive, all I need to do is probably chalk up a couple $100 to buy the meta summoners, right? The meta legendary summoners, and then just play with the reward cards, and then maybe buy
What
a couple.
Splinterlands planet are you on that the meta legendary summoners are a couple $100?
Okay, so yeah, I mean maybe it's a little more than that. I was thinking about the ones that are like $15 a pop right now. I don't know that I can afford yours. Lorcus is too out of my price range. But
Lorcus is the cheap one. Look at Tofu.
Oh, I mean, Tofu is on another level. That's like Fine Kitty. But I was looking at EMP because I got that delegation from you last time, so thank you.
I did a cool card.
I did have some fun with EMP. I think even Cryptic is in like the $20 range, right? Actually, let's
and Cryptic is a powerful card. Like that card is great. I am not good enough to tell you how to use it. I can just tell you that it wins. There's actually a interesting Hive post once a season roughly. There's a guy that goes through and programmatically pulls like cards from leaderboards and which ones won and what their records were, which I find to be an interesting post. He tags me in it as my scholars frequently on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
But that sort of thing really, I think, it's kind of enlightening on which cards you see people winning with. I think it's cool that he does that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I'm spending a couple $100, I was able to get, or you delegated a Kane and EMP to me, and I had fun playing with them. And I looked at that and was like, all right, would I pay like 100, 150, whatever it comes out to be? Yeah, that's like within the range of like my gaming budget to enhance my experience, right? I mean, I'm not going to pay like $600 for like a Tofu.
What's your thoughts if you had to pick one between EMP and the Kane? Which one did you like more?
Oh, I think EMP for sure. You just get so many more benefits with EMP, and there's a lot of.
I totally agree, and it's wild to me that they made Dragon so crappy that you would choose a different summoner. To me, that's really weird. I disagree completely, and it bothers me that that's the right choice.
Well, I mean, because the thing is, EMP's counterpart isn't really even a Kane. It should be Nidhogger, but Nidhogger's not even part of the conversation.
It's not. No.
It's just not like. I mean, I've been beaten by Nidhogger, so I know that like there's ways to use it.
but
Yeah,
that like
it
this
has certain
force
scenarios for
reduction is
sure.
too much for me.
Yeah, I see my Sculler use it from time to time and win, so I know it's possible, but it doesn't scream success and let's play this card for sure.
Yeah, so that's what it is. But I agree with you that Dragon is severely lacking.
If I can add one more thing to the battle pass
Go for it.
commentary is one of the things that's, and again, I hate to keep comparing this, I mean, people are going to yell at me, but I mean, the nice thing about the parallel battle pass is the cosmetic part of it, because like I stream a lot of parallel on Twitch, and having like the different backgrounds on the battle boards or the arenas, the different like taunts and the voices, the different Paragon skins or the Summoner skins in Splinterlands, I guess you would say, Glamour or whatever, just the different card backs and effects. It's a flex, right? I mean, if you're streaming, not only can your audience see that, but your opponent can see it. And you want to be unique. You want to be different than just every other tofu out there that you're playing against, right? So I think Glamour could be a nice thing to get into Splinterlands, but again, it's going to be here, May, June, who knows when, right? So this is like table stakes for other games. They've had it since day one, and here we are. We saw like Glamour or skins back at Splinterfest. How many years ago was Splinterfest now? 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I don't even know. It's probably 2.5 years ago now, right?
2.5 almost, yeah.
And we still don't have it. So it goes again, and not to be a broken record, but I mean, we're still here talking about stuff that just hasn't been delivered, right?
Yeah, it's not lost on me. And honestly, like Glamour, even though like I'm not excited necessarily for Glamour, cosmetics and skins aren't really my thing. That was probably my biggest pet peeve coming out of the most recent town hall, is like, here's yet another example of something that was being talked about middle of last year. We were told was a couple of months away. Then it became something that, hey, we're going to prioritize survival mode in front of this, and we're going to push it to next year. And now it's getting like, okay, we're going to prioritize pretty much everything else in front of it, and it's going to get pushed to Q2. Right. So now it's like coming on like a full year later, which this is part of the issue, because like I know that the team is working on stuff, but one of the biggest criticisms that they get is just the inability to deliver things, and then always reprioritizing stuff one in front of the other, and then not delivering that. Like I mean, so in conjunction with that, they prioritize survival mode, which was supposed to, like, both Glamour and survival mode were supposed to come out in Q4 of 2024, right? There was a time period in which they were planning to do Glamour, and then that got pushed for survival mode, which is supposed to come out in December. And now here we are at the end of January. Neither is out. There's no time frame given for survival mode, although my hope is that it is going to be in February. And Glamour is indefinitely delayed. All right, so it's like, and what has been delivered, that's part of the issue. And I know we talked about it last time. What has been delivered, it's just been more promo card sales. So when I look at this objectively and I listen to a lot of the detractors out there, I'm just like, they have a point. Like I get where they're coming from. There's a lot of stuff that's been soon for a while, and I know that it's like right there. But at the same time, it's like every month we're just hearing more delays. All right, let's jump back in here. MA says, haven't used Death Ranger much, but it's actually pretty useful for 4 mana once you have close range. Bolt says, Bulldog did a PT post once upon a time, but I can't recall what was the sentiment. Oh, this is about Battle Pass. Battle Pass that gives cool skins. All right, the Glamour should be part of the Battle Pass or something similar. I don't know that the team can handle a Battle Pass right now. I would love for them to revamp the reward system, though. Because to Tails' point earlier, like a Battle Pass where it's just like you're paying for something just to participate.
Can we
Makes sense.
come up with like a ranking system on what we think is actually important to update and when? Like maybe that's what the output of our stream should be. Is that we actually talk about these fucking things and come up with some sort of rating system of what we think would actually be helpful. It's like there's so much garbage, and like how much of it do we actually think is helpful to our end goal? Like,
well, I know you feel strongly about certain things. So what are, if you had to put your top 2, what would they be?
oh my god, you made me pick 2.
What do you want, 1 or 3?
2's fine. I think in-game chat and revamped guilds.
Okay. I don't disagree with that. But
I think you could make some really good arguments for like Battle Pass or something else. I challenge you to come up with an argument for land or survival mode. Go for it. I want to hear you try.
I cannot come up with an argument. So it depends on like what are the goals, right?
Yep.
If we're talking about bringing new players in, land has no place in that. If we're talking about improving the game economy, you could have an argument for land, but the thing is,
maybe
I think survival mode does more for the card economy right now. And land,
is that good or bad? Does that just push bots back into the rental equation, and then we get rental inflation and get more packs ripped that are just for bots that we kill in a little while? Like I don't love that.
Well, I would like the idea of seeing Chaos Legion pack value go up. I don't even own, I don't track my collection. I don't have a bunch of extra cards, but I know that there's a lot of people who feel very, very bitter about the game because of Chaos Legion's value. And I do wonder if, even if it's just like a moral win or, like a small win, to see Chaos Legion value start to rise up would bolster confidence in old players who've been waiting for that, as well as new players to be like, hey, wait, it's actually possible for the team to come back and find ways to deliver or like, save a set, right? Which would make...
Do you think that is actually the outcome of survival mode? Is that what you're thinking? Is that it drives up the price of Chaos Legion itself?
I mean, it's my hope. I don't think it's irrational, but it might be improbable. Here's the way that I understand it. If people really take survival mode seriously, the super ridiculous cheap prices for some of these cards right now, especially on the rental market, I think are going to disappear. Like you can go and get like, let's go look at Chaos Legion specifically. Like if we're talking about a max level, like just summoners, right, for rental. I mean, look at this. You can get these cards for like less than a penny.
Yeah. And
so the ability to then take these cards at less than a penny, go out, and let's say you are competitive in survival mode, and you have a decent amount of SPS stake, and you're playing in gold or diamond or even champion, and you're winning maybe, I don't know, anywhere from 8 to 10 SPS per game. Why wouldn't you just rent another Tarsa or another Thaddeus Brood and give it another shot? You know what I mean? Like, let's say you have all the other cards, or even if you can get, if all it is like fielding a team, and you can field a team for less than a penny, where the upside is you could get 10 SPS, which is 9 pennies or 10 or 7 pennies, whatever it is, right? Like people are going to run the math on that, or their bots are going to run the math. And you get what I'm saying?
The bots are going to run the math.
Well, the whole survival mode is just going to be a whole bot thing. I mean, nobody's going to be playing the game manually in survival mode, all those battles. It's not going to happen. The bot's going to run for you. The bot's going to play for you. It's just going to print SPS out of this imaginary reward pool that got created from nowhere. So it'll help the rental market. All these summoners, they're not going to be here anymore for these prices. They're all going to get scooped up and rented, which is the point of the process with the game mode. Yeah, your cat's hungry.
I know.
But
He's gonna,
yes,
it looks like I'm abusing my cat, but he literally has so much food there. He just wants his wet food.
yeah. So it's gonna do its job. All these summoners are gonna be scarce. They're gonna get rented. But at what price? The price is this reward pool that basically came from nowhere. That's gonna double. I guess not double, but it's gonna increase by 33% the SPS rewards given out in a month. And at some point, the DAO is going to have to pay that bill. The bill's going to come due if people want to keep that game mode in play. And then tough choices are going to have to make. Either SPS inflation has to be up somewhere, or SPS rewards from other parts of the game are going to have to be cut.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, though, that SPS inflation isn't that bad. It's 33% of game rewards, but there's a hell of a lot of SPS inflation coming from other areas. So all in all, it's not a 33% increase. It's going to be significantly less than that. Now, I don't know that I highly doubt that it's going to offset it, but the amount of card activity or market activity that this could cause will definitely start burning more DEC, which is a good thing. And I do think that if we start to see the floor prices of these cards float up, that may encourage more people to either get involved or rent their cards or buy packs, buy cards off the marketplace, right? Because if we look at like card sales here, I don't know. I'm not gonna run the math on this, but like you could start to see, General Sloan's getting scooped up for $10 a pop here if the rental market picks up significantly, right? And you see these cards going for pennies rather than less than a penny.
Yep. I mean,
but it all
Summoner's
depends.
a good bet.
I'm definitely looking at survival mode with rose-colored glasses. So I completely understand that. I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. I don't think it's going to be a flop. I also don't think it's going to be a smashing success. But hopefully it's something where they'll find the successes and then try to build upon them. And then it'll just be a small piece of the puzzle with land coming in, at whatever pace that it's going to come in. So I don't know. Do you have your top two tails?
I do. The top two for immediate impact would be a card burn, card sink focus, getting that in the game in multiple parts of the game, getting the rewards out to encourage that should be a priority like 2 years ago, but here we are. And number two is just putting a sealed deck mode out there for both new and old players to play, a new game mode that brings new excitement, new gameplays, new metas, new tactics, all that jazz. It's streamable, it's available for new players and old players alike, and it brings excitement to the game. We have no kind of new game modes, no fun, no pack opening, no dynamic tournaments, none of that. Those two things, you focus on those two things, good things happen.
I would love to see an ongoing card burning mode, right? Card graveyard or whatever you want to call it. I still think that guilds could be a really interesting place for that. And I know, here's the thing. I know that people are going to look at this and say like, oh, it's going to add, more cost or whatever the case is. But like we literally have cards that are going for a penny right now, or even less than a penny. And it's like, imagine if like in order to like enter into a guild brawl, your guild had to sacrifice at the altar a card. Every time that there was like a guild thing, you just had to burn a single card. We would slowly be eating through all like the garbage cards that nobody wants at the bottom of the barrel, right? Cards that are not good enough to go on land and are not good enough to play in ranked, and probably will be at the lowest of the low priority for even survival mode, right? I mean, we're talking about your Venari Heatsmiths here. And
where you only need one BCX to get most of the value. So
yeah.
There's just a bazillion of them.
I guess my point is that if you create this ongoing sink that is like minimal in terms of cost, sure, you're gonna get somebody who says, well, oh, you're gonna take away DEC utility. Well, it's like, okay,
what like burning 5 DEC to enter into a guild brawl is not going to do much for the overall ecosystem, but burning a card, which is, you know, much more finite. I don't know. This argument can be torn apart as well. So I'm just trying to throw the idea out there. I know I'm not making a strong argument. I'm just trying to make an argument for it. All right. Peak says I'd play Wild. Glamour should be part of the Battle Pass or something similar. Darby says one new legendary NFT card. Jangles, it's a travesty you don't play because you're really good at this game. Wait, doesn't Jangles play?
Well, he's just saying he's dropping out of ranked, right? I'm assuming.
Oh, Keegs, I think I've knocked you out each week after sound. It seems like it. Oh, dude,
I feel like we may need a prize that it goes to whoever knocks after sound out. That feels like a sort of thing that we should do.
I don't know that we should be rewarding that. I don't think it's really that worthy.
Why not? And then if you win, you get an even better prize. If you win
okay,
the
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Let's see where things are at right now. I mean, only because I'm not that good. But you know what? If you want to put the bounty on my head, I'll take it. Ooh, Liberty Guy and Jangles. We got some new.
This is a good matchup.
Yeah,
I like it.
So hold on. What's the road here? So you had Lince Marone over Heinale. Jangles over Young Eagles. Oh, that was a good one. Liberty Guy over Dag, and then Keegs. Oh, Keegs, who did you lose to? To Liberty Guy. All right.
And Keegs took out Splinterlands RU, who's a regular tournament.
Yeah, winner.
A cruiser.
All right, let's see. Who's up 1-0 right now? Oh, Liberty Guy. Liberty Guy.
Using Lorcus, making me feel good over here.
Yep. Brett is admin for sure or the waiting for land soon. Adversound just tossed you a link in your DMs that shows some pretty interesting data. Okay, thank you for that. Do you want me to go through it now?
Just click on it and accept the virus. It'll help.
Gonna send all of my cards to you, Lorcus.
Fantastic.
So much opportunity SPL is missing. Yeah. My hope is that because if we're being objective here, I do think that the team does actually a really good job of listening to the community when they can. They just don't have the resources to put in a lot of these ideas. So like my conservative hope for 2025 is just that they can get enough capital and profitability that they can add some more folks into the mix and start building out all the stuff that we're asking for. And Matt, is able to really like hodl some cash or whatever it is so that he's good for like the next 4 years and doesn't have to worry about it.
I don't know, man. I'm going to put on my cynical hat.
Go for it.
There's been zero evidence to me that there's an understanding of what a budget means, what a schedule means, and what priorities mean. I don't know that any amount of hodling cash fixes that. Like, we need some, like, I feel like we are struggling because none of those things are decisions that actually last and stick. So if we have a bunch of money and he hires even a moderate amount of more people, I have no confidence that there is going to be a list of priorities that's stuck to things actually hitting on target, because it's literally never happened, no matter how much money and no matter how many we had. Never happened. We haven't seen it once. Unless I'm missing something. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This is not a cash flow issue. This is a learn how to do the basics of running a business issue.
Well, maybe this is where maybe bringing in like a CEO would be helpful, right? Somebody who can like steer the ship. Because
how about a program manager? Let's start there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, COO probably would be better than a CEO, right? Somebody who come and operate the business and say like, "Hey, here's what we're trying to do."
Yeah, somebody that can be focused on execution. Whatever that needs to be, because it's just, I can't see any evidence that it's ever happened.
Well, I mean, I do think that an element of it is the fact that they're just strapped for resources.
They weren't in 2022,
but that was a different time.
It's true. I guess it's true. I guess I just want to see, for once, give a schedule and hit it. I don't care how long it is. You know your resourcing, you know what it takes, or you don't, and that's even worse. But someday you've got to start making realistic targets and hitting them, or this doesn't ever work.
Well, yeah, like I said, there's a lot that they want to do for Q1, and my fear is Q1 is 1/3 of the way through, and it has not gone the way I thought it would.
What's the definition of insanity again?
Continuing to do something and expecting different results. Continuing to believe. Ankh, what did you send me? Is this a giveaway? Ooh, cool.
Oh, Bramble Pixie.
Thank you. Oh wait, hey.
Man, I remember all the fun meta with Bramble Pixie when Rift Watchers came out.
Yeah. Hey, Bananas, I don't know if you're still around, but you sent me like a bunch of Rebellion cards. I just noticed that I have a bunch of I pretty much have like a novice level deck of some of these Rebellion cards. What do you want me to do with those? I think you sent them at the end of last stream. Are those for giveaway? Bolt says, ouch, Joffrey. All right, whales care about land. That's about it. I mean, I care, but I want the card game to actually expand. I agree. Spell and items in 2030? I think you're being a little too bullish there. No, I hope that they can get some kind of spell or item out sooner rather than later. All right, I'm talking to Gank every now and again about land stuff. Oh, it's good to see that he's still involved. Let's hire Cryptomancer for 5 more years. The game has so much more lore. You know what I'm really concerned about is the delay in the validator stuff.
What's a validator?
The SPS validators. I mean,
I'm just making a joke about it.
No,
I
I know.
forgot about it. It's been too long. But yes, I own a few of those.
I'm just thinking about the fact that in July, we voted to give the power to JPTR or whatever it was. I actually liked the counter proposal from Peak Monsters because I think Peak Monsters does great work for the ecosystem. But Matt came out and kind of tipped the scale in favor of JPTR, saying that they were almost done, which again, I believe him because they've been working on it, and that they were a couple of months away. This was in July of last year. Now keep in mind, in October, November-ish timeframe, I think they told us that the go live date was in January for these validators.
I think they originally said it was before the end of the year, was the original statement, but that changed.
Yeah, Matt said his goal was to get it out by the end of the year. So that again changed. But then the validators, we were told that there was a planned go live date in January. And all I'm saying is that it's January 23rd and there's no other maintenance windows this month. And I know Matt said it's coming soon, but shit, so is everything else. So is everything else coming soon.
Well, I think they're testing it in a small sample size right now, but the validators is a scary thing, honestly, because if that gets hacked or is a security issue or shit goes the way of the what was that shield warden guy where they just printed vouchers out of nowhere. I mean, it's gonna be bad news for the project. So you can't mess up with that. In addition to that, not only is it a big, fundamental risk for the project to shift to that, it needs to happen, right? But it needs to happen flawlessly without issue. But all of a sudden, people are going to have to fire up VPSs and virtual servers and host it and set it up, technical stuff that people may not, who have licenses, know how to do. So that's going to be interesting to see when people don't get their vouchers and their SPS for free anymore, what kind of grumblings happen then. Because when you give stuff away for free for 2 years plus, and then you take it away, the reception's not going to be necessarily good. It's like giving free COVID money out to people for 2 years, and you stop giving the COVID money, people are like, hey, where's my free money? So it's going to be interesting. But I think the bigger issue is, regardless of when it comes out, it's going to come out at some point. They got to the point where it's testing, and it's probably going to happen sometime in Q1 TM. But it's got to be flawless. It can't have security issues. It can't be printing stuff or causing chain problems. It can't be crashing like Hive Engine or the game or anything like that. So there's a lot of, it's important for that to go smoothly. So I hope they get it right.
Yeah, and I know I'm probably sounding a little too critical here. I don't mean to be, in the sense of, I agree with you. It has to go right. They cannot get this wrong, because that could be catastrophic in many ways. It just comes down to the time frames, right? Or like what Lorcas was talking about earlier, where they're giving, there's like time frames being given out there that are just not accurate. And it's like, just don't give the time frame, right? Like, because Validators wasn't even anywhere like on my bingo card. Like I didn't need it. Like if you had told me to sign the thing up like in July and said they're hoping to get it out in 1 year, that would have been fine. Like I would have been okay with it. It's just we were sold on this idea that it's a couple months away, and then it's in January, and now it's here, and it's like, again, I don't even care about Validators. I haven't thought about it in a while, but it just becomes this other thing that is given a date and then is not delivered.
Yeah. Well, it's also maybe a little scary. I mean, technically probably not, but we also just minted all of the SPS, right? And sent it to the DAO. And now it's protected by multi-sig wallets and should be secure. And the contract is such where it shouldn't be able to mint anymore. But if there is any loopholes or any issues with the validator nodes when it comes to SPS token and stuff, that would be the concern. Is you've got all the SPS out there. Hopefully it's secure, but the ability or the possibility to mint more or to burn stuff unintentionally or to lose stuff, that would be the catastrophic part of your equation that you mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. I don't know why you guys haven't played another game yet, but let's. I just realized it's almost not. Oh,
it's done. Maybe you have to refresh. I don't know why it doesn't update battles without it.
Thank you, Ankh. Let's see. Ooh, Liberty Guy with the win in 4. Jangles. Oh, look at that. What the hell? Why did it close? A Rekla win over Lorcas. Don't see
that. Rekla is a great summoner. It's I would say it's the better.
I'm disappointed.
Morris, I guess.
It is underrated. Oh, and then Tofu. Surprise, surprise.
What were you saying, Tails?
I'm disappointed that Bjangles didn't win with Dallin in the final round. That would have been a flex.
He didn't even try. Oh, look at this. A Lux Vega win over Tofu.
That's that shield. Yeah.
Not very often. Well, congratulations to Liberty Guy. All right, so let's do this. If you guys go to the details page, you will see that there is a link to it's this list here. It's a spreadsheet that has all the cards available. So Liberty Guy, go ahead and give out you get first pick. Jangles your number 2, Keegs your number 3, Lince Marone, Young Eagles, Dag 661, Hinale, if I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm not. Splinterlands RU, Monster Tamer, and Ran 1073. Go ahead and throw your preferences out there. And Lorcas can get started on that. I'm going to catch up on the chat so that we can see where we're at. All right, the game has so much lore. Yeah, Nate to get bread and butter. It's just, but Matt doesn't let him cook. Dude, Nate is great, man. Got so many cool ideas. I just wish he had a way to implement them. Joffrey, Tarsa versus New Dawn. Mortal Kombat. Survivor mode eats up a lot of chaos cards. Yeah, that'd be great. I feel bad for everyone who bought CL when it was new. Me. And
all of us, I think.
Vouchers and all the other BS nonsense. Yeah, campaign mode for each set. I would love to see all these things be implemented, but there's no way that the team, with their small team, could push it all. How many devs does Parallel have? I mean, all of them. Parallel has all of them. They have 3 different games that they're working on. After Sound and Tales is like oil and vinegar.
I'm assuming they're talking about positivity and negativity around certain things.
Is oil positive? Am I the
That's
positive?
a good point. Which one is the oil?
I don't know how to read that.
Great question.
I wouldn't take oil as like the positive thing, but okay. I'd survive.
Oh, but it makes like pasta so much better. Like boil is pretty good.
I mean, oil is Look, I'm not saying I'm not a fan. I got in the top 4. Keen on Heloise or tofu if possible, says Keegs. Sealed mode, I would definitely play that. I can't remember when sealed was the talk. Oh yeah, I lost the tournament probably because the game glitches. Yeah, sorry about that. We can't control that. Fire Cryptomancer and rehire him for a battle pass. How about for guilds? Who's supposed to work on guilds?
Dude, I wish we could fix sprawls so badly. Some of those sprays are so stupid. Ugh.
Anything you have via proposal. Giveaway time. Good luck, guys. Got enough glint for a legendary draw. Pulled one. I'll mark this. Will you try to unlock yourself? Alright, so I love how Sam mumbles half my comments. Must be hitting a nerve. No, I'm just trying to read them quickly. What did I mumble through? You want me to read all of yours out loud? Fire Cryptomancer on land and rehire him for battle pass. Still waiting for my node from 2 years. Wait, what do you mean still waiting for your node? Sealed mode.
Just waiting for it to become a node. Like, all you have right now is a license.
No, dude, I'm just so far behind on chat, so that's why I'm mumbling these things. All right, the specs required to run a validator node may not justify the minimal reward, considering well said tales. I'm trying to be have a little bit more diction, so you can understand me. All right, I probably need to stop eventually, but otherwise you're just saving. All right, no, it's just easier to mumble. Keeg says, I'd like to see them finishing stuff. Instead, they put all this work into projects that they then just jump off. Just schedule it as in the next one after the current things are done. Yeah, so again, that was again another thing that happened in this most recent town hall. Glamour gets pushed off and we get this talk about like a campaign mode, which again, I'm not saying that I'm against the campaign mode, but that just wasn't like I thought last year was the year of new player experience. And now we're like putting this in.
New player experience.
Yeah, not every day BJangles takes an L. Let's keep it rolling. Cryptic, please. All right. So Liberty Guy wants Mantaroth.
Yes, I'm setting that up now. Thank you.
People's Go wants Cryptic. I think Keeg said he wants Tofu. Oil and water. Oh, sorry, I'm drunk. Well, I hope you're having a good time, Joffrey. We are here. Young Eagles wants a Tofu if available. I think it should be. Emulsion. All right.
So which one did Keys want? He said Heloise or
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, hold on.
Tofu. Do you know which one is his preference? I would say the downside of Heloise is it's got a 1.2 day cooldown, but
I mean, alphabetically, Heloise comes first, and then also he typed Heloise first, so I'm going to say Heloise, just to make your life a little easier.
If he gives us other data, I can change.
I don't know if any of these other folks are going to make it through. Lince Maram, you got Young Eagles, right? Young Eagles wants a Tofu if available. I think they are.
Okay.
What about Dag661, Hinale, Splinterlands, RU, Monster Tamer, Ran? Any of you guys in the chat? You get a pick of your cards.
Pick your cards, or I will give you one. What a threat. We don't have anything from Lince Maram, right?
I did not see anything from Lince Maram. No.
Okay.
Is there anybody who was in the chat but did not play in the tournament? Just out of curiosity. Daughter plays Rundown is right. I said it. What do you mean? I don't want to play Rundown. That's cool. Also,
OMZ missed it. So he was just asking for some for Lorcus, and I will do that.
I mean, OMZ did not perform well. Where's OMZ?
I thought he said he missed it.
No, he was here. OMZ is number 31.
Great.
OMZ 187. Oh, Onk's at work. I got home a few minutes too late to play. But if Fizbo, I had a cooldown, is still around, I'd take it back. Kidding, don't read out loud. He might hear you. All right, so Ma, you're gonna be you still have some cards to give away. Sorry, Lorcas, do you still have some cards to give away?
Oh yeah.
All right, we're just gonna start giving away. All right, so
I was sending that email one day back. Fisbo back to email one day.
oh, you got Ma with the Fizbo?
Yeah. Because it does have a cooldown on that one, so it's easy to send back to him.
All right. I don't feel like doing a thing right now. I do want to reward the people that are here though. Send Joffrey something.
Yeah,
Joffrey, are you runners? Because Joffrey, you're even though you're always throwing shade at the game, you are always here, and I do appreciate that. I think this is you, right? Runners. Throw your IGN in. I mean, if you guys want something, throw your IGN in, and then I'm gonna play favorites. And I'm gonna make some friends and make some enemies. We'll see. I don't know how much we have. Both said give him my Heat Smith. Oh, give Supreme Victory Studios a Mantaroth. The IGN is Eye Blast because they were number 11.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So they're around.
I was gonna send a Nidhogger
Oh, you know what?
to Runhurst because I thought that would just be funny. Is that
beggars can't be choosers. Oh, run your shit. Yeah, you did remind me of that last time.
Oh yes, run your shit. I forgot to.
Okay, run your shit. I don't know. When I look at it like that, it looks like runners. Yeah, exactly. I'm cool. I don't need any cards. I'll save the Bramble Pixie that she sent me for a giveaway. Nobody else wants any cards? Interesting. Okay.
Oh, we got a Cryptic Please.
Oh yeah. Go for Pilak. They're hanging out in the chat. Where did Pilak land? Wait, Pilak, did you even play? You said you didn't perform well, but where'd you finish? Not top 10 though? Oh, you just Mantaroth is meta. After Sound, you willing to promote my Ghost Card tournament? That is tomorrow, real quick. Just show it on screen. Absolutely, man. Should have asked me earlier. You said it's tomorrow? What's the date? 24th? Oh, right here. Guys, check it out. Tomorrow at noon Central Time, it is a Wild Open tournament. Oh, shoot. You know what? I'm going to enter it. I don't know if I'll be able to play, but I'll give you one DEC to support. Check it out tomorrow, guys. Ooh, and there's some cards being given away if you win. That's cool. All right. Firebolts, what do you want? Do you want anything? Young Eagles, all right. It's already past 9 o'clock. My bedtime is 9. But what is some macro stuff you want to talk about? You know how to pique my interest. Grimbardoon Smith, the monkey. Who's the monkey? Is there a monkey card?
I don't know.
But there's not like a specific monkey card. If somebody's referring to the monkey. Joffrey says thank you. It's 24-hour team entry. Oh, okay. It's a 24-hour team entry. Okay, cool. That's the term. You know what buttons to push. At least until I get too sleepy. I don't know. I mean, macro stuff. Let's see. What have I been following? I don't know if there's anything specific you want to chat about. a lot of the Bitcoin macro analysts are still very bullish on 2025 because for them it just comes down to like liquidity, and at some point or another, basically our debt is a major issue. So right now the dollar's strengthening, but Bitcoin is actually still staying above 100K, which is awesome. But at some point they're going to have to weaken the dollar in order to not succumb to our debt. So I don't know if that happens later this year or maybe next year, but that'll be good for Bitcoin, which will probably be good for everything else.
Did you see Michael Saylor's post from a couple hours ago after Sound?
Or where he was celebrating the thing? What do you say?
The staff accounting bulletin 121 has been rescinded, allowing banks to custody Bitcoin as part of the SEC.
Yep. Dude, that's just... I mean, there's a lot of bullish elements that are going into place now. It's just a matter of like, where's the rest of the world? How bad is like the economy? Because I've been one of those people where I'm like, it felt like we either went through a recession or we kind of hit the fact that we were in a recession, and now we're in a position where I think just general sentiment and psychology is going to take over. A lot of people are going to be much more bullish just in general. But I don't know. I'm not an expert on this stuff. I find it fascinating. So I still think that there's a lot of room to run. But when you boil this down to alts and crypto specifically, and even more specifically, gaming and Splinterlands, I don't know how much of that filters down into this. That's why I'm just trying to be realistic with you guys. But on the whole, like the two things that I hold, all right, when it comes to like securing my future, and this is not financial advice, but this is just me. I save in Bitcoin, and my investments is pretty much just MicroStrategy, right? Like that's been my main focus. Yeah, sure, I have some Prime, I have some Superverse, I have some SPS, and a bunch of other things for fun. But that's because I like being part of the ecosystem, and I want to see where things go.
So, real question: how is your savings and your investment different, other than one's technically a stock and one's a coin?
So good question. So MicroStrategy, I would say the reason I categorize it, and this isn't my terminology, but I've adopted it. But the reason I would categorize MicroStrategy as investing is because there is risk there. Whereas like with something like Bitcoin, I don't view it as risk. There's volatility, but I'm a hardcore believer in like full decentralization of money and state and money and whatever. So if I'm just trying to save capital in the hardest asset in the world, I just buy and stack Bitcoin for the long run. If I want to play around in the stock market, which is what I've been doing with MicroStrategy, is I'll play around with options and stuff and just, I don't know, have fun with the volatility that comes from MicroStrategy holding Bitcoin.
Gotcha. So you're essentially kind of trading MicroStrategy and stockpiling Bitcoin then.
Exactly. So I'll run like options on MicroStrategy, and then whatever like premiums or something that I'll make. And I don't go crazy with it. I'll do like the safe stuff like covered calls or cash puts or whatever. But it's like I'll take a portion of that, and then I'll take a portion of that. I'll use that to buy Bitcoin and stack it for the long term, and then I'll take another portion and buy more MicroStrategy. So that's why like the crypto casino has not been as interesting to me over the past part of this cycle, is because and a lot of tokens, I really feel like I'm gambling if I'm just trying to like throw money at certain tokens, right? I got a little lucky buying what's that called, Prime under $10, but then I never sold. Right? So now it's like sitting at $11, and it's like, okay, well, I kind of rode this thing back up and down, although I do think that it will eventually make its way up. It's just, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. With Splinterlands, I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope that the game can survive long enough to see like massive success, and not even because of like my own, how that would benefit me, but I think that there's a lot of really cool things that Matt is trying to build, and I just hope that he ends up getting the resources to do it in a way that is in line with his vision. Because as we've talked about ad nauseum here, it's just not happening that way right now. You're losing a lot of folks just due to sheer frustration, whether it's the market, whether it's deliveries, whether it's not getting the features that people are requesting.
Or getting the features they're not requesting.
Yeah. All right, let me run through the comments one last time. All right, so with the new policies that are being put out, what do you think will be the true catalyst? So I'm hearing, I'm hearing a lot of rumors now. It's just from the Bitcoin community that like the UAE has stacked like 300,000 Bitcoin or something like that. And the thing is, you hear it from enough people. I don't know, maybe it's just one person, but it's spread to enough people. But I've been hearing it enough where it's like, okay, if the rumors are out there, then I wouldn't be surprised if you have a lot of other countries that are slowly stacking. I mean, you've seen China and Russia become very pro crypto, very pro Bitcoin. Russia's even like really looking into investing into mining and all that. So my hope is that we do get to see the nation state, bull run, where they just start rushing in. And if there's a country that, reveals that they've bought, it'll put everybody else on notice. And I think the UAE would definitely qualify as that. I also think everybody's freaking out about the fact that like Trump didn't announce a strategic Bitcoin reserve, but honestly, that would be the smart thing to do, is to not talk about it until you've stockpiled a good amount. I'm not saying that they're going to do that, because I think Trump is very like crypto focused rather than Bitcoin focused, but I think the benefit, regardless from a macro perspective, is that the policies are going to be friendly. I would love to see no capital gains taxes on Bitcoin, or if he extends it to all crypto, that's fine. But that was floated around for a while, and if that happens, I think you'll get way more activity and interest in the asset class, which would be awesome. Will that be the catalyst? I don't know, but I think it's more so the nation state thing that'll happen. XRP goes up or down? I don't know, man. I'm not in XRP, but I'm happy for everybody who makes money. See y'all next week. All right, it's my favorite dragon. What is it? Once Ashkenach. I don't know what that means. All right, so ILV goes up or down. I don't know. Are you still playing Illuvium, Tails? Y'all still here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not actively playing Illuvium. I'm waiting for them to fine-tune Gauntlet Arena and reintroduce rewards there and leaderboards. I think Joffrey's point or question was, is Illuvium going to go up or down? I mean, I think they're having a reset moment right now. Their token price has kind of stayed flat or gone down at this point. I think in a bull run, it will go back up, only because, not necessarily because of what they're doing on the gaming side, but because of just they're a project from 2021's bull run, and it'll be a familiar name. They have a working game, and they have they have funding issues as well. Their runway right now, because they have a big spend, a big budget, and a big staff, so they're like less than 12-month runway. So they're either going to have to get new investors or do something to stay in the game, which is a concern.
All right, so it's not just.
They're also redoing their arena, or not their arena, their overworld completely, and making it an MMO light, which is another, moving on the goalposts, so to speak, where they're just changing what the game is going to be. So, lots of stuff going on over there. It's again, for everyone out there that's just really focused on Splinterlands and not other Web3 projects. There's a lot of churn, and there's a lot of projects also struggling to find their footing and having issues with money and funding and token prices and community and direction and development speed and all this other stuff. So it's not unique to Splinterlands. Mm-hmm. But there's also, while there's a lot of Splinterlands and Illuviums out there, there's also a lot of companies that are making really good progress and kind of setting the pace for what's going on. And there's cornucopias. There's a lot of projects out there. I can't even start to name the list of them that are doing really good things and not getting a lot of hype and a lot of publicity. And you're going to see them probably in the next 2 to 3 months, some even sooner, like Raven Quest, probably in the next month,
Gotcha.
where it's going to be explosive and it's going to surprise a lot of people.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. Like doing this stuff is hard, especially in this space. So, even if you did get a huge infusion of cash early on. All right, so Bolt says, "Woo." All right, Young Eagles. This still doesn't feel like Euphoria or any of that, but this time is wildly different with the support. So I've heard two people in the Bitcoin space, Jack Mallers and American Hodl, talk about the fact that this bull run feels much more similar to 2017 than it does to 2021. I first bought Bitcoin like summer of 2017, so I wasn't around the early part of 2017, so I don't know what it felt like, but that's what they're saying. And what's interesting is that in that year, Bitcoin went from I think $1,000 in January of 2021, in January 2017, to 20K by the end of the year. Now that doesn't mean that we're going to see a $2 million Bitcoin, but that also doesn't mean that we're not going to see a $2 million Bitcoin. I mean, I don't know. I would love that. That would be fantastic. But if that's how we're pacing, then 2021 we had the double top, right, where you had a massive push in April and May, and then it quieted for the summer, and then came back in October, November. In 2017, what I do remember is I think I got involved around like July or August, and then the second half of the year was just kind of wild because first time I bought Bitcoin was like August, I think, of 2017. It was like 4K, and then obviously over the course of just a couple of weeks in Q4, it goes from like 6K to 20K. So I don't know if we're going to see something like that, but it is interesting to hear some OG Bitcoiners talk about it feeling more similar to that than 2021. SPL goes up or down. Please, let's get a new CEO. What will Euphoria feel like? I think Euphoria is going to come fast and hard. And yeah, go ahead, have fun with those sexual puns. But I think it'll be over before most people realize it, which is why I don't know. You gotta start taking your ice cream money early. Level 5 Nimble Duke Scout. You need financial advice. I won't sue. Heck yeah, stock options are the way to go. Massive success means massive adoption. True. Keegs loves the prizes for knocking me out. Are we backdating them? No, we're definitely not backdating them. But I don't know. I mean, if Lord
you got to come up with the right prize. I don't know what it should be. I'll have to think about it. Someone give me some ideas, but we'll figure it out.
Well, I mean, sure, I'm all for it. I'm gonna kick all your asses now. I'm gonna deny you the prizes. It'll give me added motivation to actually be like, oh, you know what? I don't want this person to win this prize. I'm gonna put my all into this.
So instead of preparing for the stream, you're gonna prepare for the tournament now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be doing ghost card challenge all week. So be prepared for that. All right, guys, this was fun. Thank you all for tuning in. Tails, Lorcus, always a pleasure.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Any final thoughts?
No, it's fun. I appreciate all the financial advice.
One day I'm going to land in prison because of these streams, and I'm going to blame all of you. All right. Have an amazing rest of your day, night, whatever time it is, guys. I will catch you all soon. And Daniel says, I love talking economy. I'd love a stream that has nothing to do with SPL, everything to do with BTC news. Well, maybe we'll do that at some point. But have a good weekend if I don't chat with you before then. And we will be back at some point with another one of these talking tournaments.
Peace. The next one's going to be wild. Is that our verdict?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, dude, it's up to you. You make them. So,
all right.
You have fun. We will play no matter what.
Okay.
You can make it alpha and beta if you wanted to, and we'll figure it out.
Oh man. All right.
I wonder if you could make it like only reward cards. That'd be kind of funny too.
Oh, I got to see what the options are. I'll play around with it more. We'll make it interesting.
Sounds good. All right. Peace out, everyone.